Yo, um, the up there, and I'm not even gonna say the name of it. No, I'm gonna say the name of it because you already clicked on it, so you know what the name of it is. So why do I even say the name of it? But I'm gonna be reviewing of Mice and Men's album The Flood. It was released in 2011 and at some point re-released or something like that. I'm not entirely knowledgeable in the whole sitch, but yeah, I'm gonna be reviewing this album from this band because they've always seemed like a band that is kind of a little above like the generic line, but not too much above it. Just enough to be interesting in some parts, but I guess I'll just get right into the album. The highlight of the album, definitely, the highlight of the whole band is Austin Carlisle, because he has these amazing, like, aggressive fry vocals that just, like, even if the song isn't really all that aggressive, like, his vocals just make it sound like 10 times more aggressive, just because that's that's the feeling I always get from Fry Screams. But, he is an amazing vocalist, and I've asked about it a little while ago, but I never really got too clear of an answer as to this album, but I think a guy that used to be in the band, Shay Lee, people call him Shay, and I always laugh at that name, because I know someone named Shay, but there's some guy named Shay in this band that did the cleans, but then apparently in the re-release or reissue, Austin did some of the cleans or something like that. But as far as I know, the Shay Lee does the cleans, but he left the band, so I don't know now. But anyway, the cleans are they're an interesting part of this band. You know, usually cleans, like a band I'm a fan of, the Devil Wears Prada, or a band like who else uses cleans? We Came as Romans, or you know, even As I Lay Dying, they all sort of have this, like, sort of, I'm not going to say same sounding cleans, but they all sort of have this style. And I feel like Of Mice and Men has just a different style. Like whoever, the cleans are just, I don't know, the singing style is just a little different. It kind of like, it sort of sounds weird at first. Like the first time I ever heard this band and listened to them, I'm like, those cleans just sound a little weird. But I mean, eventually they're like, yeah, these are like pretty well sung cleans, and they're actually very memorable. I mean, they're definitely cleans that'll get stuck in your head. And that's the thing, they don't use cleans like, they're not a band that's like verse, clean chorus, verse, clean chorus. I mean, they'll use like some clean verses and even some like scream choruses, and they just mix it up and do whatever. But the instrument, the guitar work, I think this band, it's very groovy and bouncy at some parts, and they can be very relaxing and just very beautiful and laid back, and just kind of like nothing too aggressive, just something that really sounds nice to listen to. Although I do feel like a couple of parts, like, I'm like, oh, I feel like I've kind of heard that before. Oh, didn't they just play something a little bit that sounds a little bit like that, like, a couple songs ago? But I mean, those are just little minor things. Overall, I think instrumentally they just kind of have their style, I guess. I mean, they don't, like any other band, they don't stray too far from their style. They don't stray from the path that much. Oh, that's a band. But you should know that. We never did a review of them, but we might. Anyway, Mice and Men, they're, I guess for anyone that's like a brutal metalhead that, beats their wife to behemoth and just like they make a cut in their hand before they jerk off just to make it hurt, they probably won't like this band. But anyone that's, someone like, I don't even know how to say, I don't know who would like this band, but like, I don't know, I guess anyone that sort of likes bands like, the Devil Wears Prada, Devil Wears Prada, or, bands like that, I guess, that do use cleans, and I don't know. They're kind of generic, I guess, in some points, and they're nothing like really new. But I mean, if you like bands like in around that kind of Warped Tour scene, like Pierce the Veil or Veil or whatever, or any other bands like that. Miss May I, that's another band. If you like bands like that, I mean, this is, at least I think if you like bands like that, you might like Of Mice and Men. I mean, they're getting pretty popular, but the one little thing I have to say about them, I like the band, I like this album, it's just, I do feel like this band is just a little bit overrated. Like, I mean, you'll get those, like, you'll hear all about, like, girls that just go crazy over this band and act like this is, like, the biggest, you know, best band in the whole world, and this is their favorite band. I mean, I guess I can see why. I mean, I don't judge anyone's favorite band. It's just, you know, I don't feel like they're the best thing out there. I mean, they're pretty cool, and I'd like to see what they do in the coming years. I really like Austin's screams, and instrumentally, they're pretty catchy. I mean, they're nothing off the wall, brutal, or, you know, simply crazy. They are pretty energetic and aggressive, but, I mean, they can be laid back too. I mean, they had like some really soft songs on this album. So I'm just excited to see where they go. But this album in general is just, it's a good album. I'm not gonna say it's like perfect. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm not gonna say it's bad at all. It's just, it's a good, solid album. I mean, if you really like this band, you'll love this album. And I mean, I know everyone that likes this band has probably listened to this album and probably knows a lot about this band, but I guess just check it out. I mean, I'm not promising anything that's like off the wall and that you'll automatically love. I mean, there might be parts where you're like, oh, this is kind of boring, or, you know, oh, this just isn't for me, or something like that. I mean, I guess I could see that. It's just, in my opinion, I think it's a pretty good listen, and there's a couple songs here and there that, you know, will get stuck in your head, and you'll just, I don't know, you'll really like some songs. I'm not saying it's a perfect album, but no, it's worth a listen. I guess a rating, I would give it like 7.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, just in that range. So it's like, it's good, but it's not bad. You know, it's something that's a decent listen. But that's all I have to say. So, yeah, subscribe, please, if you're watching this video. We like subscribers.